And I think if we bring up on screen now a comparison of this guy as a freeze frame and the other guy as a freeze frame, I think you can see that it's just completely different people. You know, like I said, the same guy with the same body shape, the same look, the same clothes, in the same environment, basically doing the same thing. But because of my body language, I can be perceived in two completely different ways. One is a leader of society and an alpha male, and the other one is just some tech nerd or some submissive man that just looks as though he's having a bad day.
Okay guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to do something similar to the other side of male life, where I just kind of, well, when I did that before, I was looking at photos the whole time, I was clicking through them, I was ripping them apart. This time I've actually got a lot of those photos on my phone, so truth be told, I should have my phone with me, so I can flick through a lot of these photos and whatnot. But any of you guys that remember the other side of male life, I basically just brought up loads of pictures on screen of just to use it as kind of like just imagery to give you guys like an idea of what we were talking about. And I just went through it all. I just had like a car with a loud exhaust, and I was like, this is what guys do, and they think they're great. And I was like, here's the other side of male life. Here's what you can achieve. Here's where you can go. Here's the classier side, rather than being drunk on a Saturday night and there'd be like somebody sprawled on the floor being sick and whatever. So I'm going to base everything around that. I've got a bunch of images that I've saved, and there's not really a pattern to this. I'll just refresh my mind here. There's some things I don't really need to show you. Some things that I've got here that will overlap. It's more on the downloads. There we go. I just need to remember what I've got in here, so I can just flick to stuff as we go. Okay guys, but the purpose of this is to explain to you how normality is king when it comes to attraction. Now this comes to for women and men, okay? There's a massive dilemma with women and men where they think they have to overdo, they think they have to over-impress. I'll give you an example. A guy gets rich, he goes and buys a neon green Lamborghini. You know, I saw that HS Tiki Toki guy wrapped his Lamborghini gold the other day. I don't get what, I get that that's youth, but I don't get why people think that is the trick. That's the play. It's not. They'll then go and buy one of those like gold and black Versace silk shirts. You know, a watch that costs 20 grand, but it looks like shit. It looks like something a child designed. They'll go and wear some like Yeezy boots, which just look, you know, they look like something Barbie should be wearing on a ski resort. And they're like, yeah, but my whole outfit is like 40 grand. That's more than you earn a year. My car is worth more than your parents' house. How do you feel? It's like, yeah, you can buy expensive shit, but it doesn't mean you look good. Okay, and it's coming from that sort of premise. Now, what I mean by normality equals attraction is I'll tell you my own story, and I'll tell you how I kind of got to the point where I wanted to make this video today, okay? I was out for, I guess, lunch, dinner with a friend very recently. And we do this all the time. We just meet up. We've been friends since school, and we were having this discussion. She might be watching this video actually. But we were having this discussion about how normal men and women have all the options. And I'll describe her and it will make sense, okay? She's like 5'9", looks like a model, but isn't overdone. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like there's not, you know, she doesn't look like a Barbie doll. Like everything's not overdone. She dresses very conservatively. She speaks with quite a posh accent. You know, she's very articulate. She walks in a certain way, which is, you know, it's just not out of place anywhere. Like you could sit her with your best friends and she'd be she wouldn't be like a nail out of place. And then you could sit her with your boss and she'd be able to have a great conversation. Then you'd be able to sit her down with your dad and she'd be able to have a great conversation. And all three groups would also want to sleep with her. Do you know what I mean? Those types of women. We all know one. I'll bring up some pictures on screen of these women that are unbelievably beautiful, but it's completely natural. You know, it's sexy without being overdone. You know, and I've got a massive weakness for like autumn and winter fashion on women. A lot of guys are like, I love women in summer dresses and stuff like that. I love it when women are in like let's say a woman's got on like black jeans, brown boots, a brown trench coat, like a black turtleneck or something, and she's just got like her hair tied up. It's just, there's something about that, you know, and she's walking her dog, okay, and here's where I'll explain this even more now. She's walking her dog and it's a Labrador, okay? So what does that mean? Why is it a Labrador? Why does that matter? It's not like a pit bull, okay? You see these women covered in tattoos walking a pit bull and you're just like, what's that about? Right? And this is what I'm talking about in terms of normality. You know, like I was talking to somebody earlier and I was describing this concept because I knew I was about to make the video. And I said to them, like, imagine you had your dream girl, your perfect girl. She looks unbelievable, head to toe. And then she turns up in a pink car, a bright pink car. You'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake. I know that sounds weird, right, guys? But every man here will go, no, I get that. I wouldn't be able to, like, there's something off with her. It's a bright pink car, like, why? Why? There's something wrong with her there. And it's a massive red flag. You know, and there's certain women that you're like, oh, could I take her home to my mum? Could I show her to my friends? What will people think about me? You know, and I think the biggest mistake that women have in this era, and we'll jump over to how this helps men in a second, this is going to be a much longer video. But the biggest problem women have in this era is I think they think that men find women like Cardi B attractive. We don't. We just really don't. You know, when you've got Cardi B with like, I don't know, it looks like she's got fake lips. I don't know if she does, right? But it looks as though at least 4 or 5 parts of her body are fake. You know, it's somebody like Nicki Minaj. Yeah, occasionally she looks pretty, she looks good, but I don't think many men want that. You know, and there's like, when she talks about like, I'm top of the tree, there's nobody like better than me and stuff like that. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. That's not a lyric that I've remembered. It's like, lady, you're really not. You're really not. She might be somebody's type, and like I prefer thicker women, but it's not real. It's surgery. It's the fake lips. It's, you know, wearing the wigs and the makeup's overdone, and the eyelashes are 7 inches longer than they need to be, and she's wearing 6-inch heels everywhere. Like even, you know, just wearing something way too revealing. It's like, yeah, it kind of looks good. Would I fuck you? Probably. Would I date you? Never. Do you know what I mean? If you want a celebrity, very few men would. And that's the thing. Women sort of have got it in their head that that's what men find attractive. And I think that attracts a certain type of man, a very low-level man. That's why those sort of women are always getting cheated on. It's the same in reverse with men. Like, I actually found a picture, and I'll bring it up on screen. There's one of Jake Paul. I don't know if I can find it here. See if I can find it. Either way, I've got a picture. Here it is. A picture of Jake Paul. And he's dressed like a kid. He's kind of bummy. He's got the ripped trousers. It's just, I hate that look. I think it's a bummy look. He just doesn't look good. And he was a lot younger then. But you could see the woman that he's with. It's a certain type of woman. I'll bring it up on screen so you guys can see. But it's a certain type of woman. Now, dressing that way, acting the way he does, you're going to attract that type of woman. You guys know what I mean, okay? And by the overdone thing, I don't know if you guys, like some of you would have had girlfriends, some of you wouldn't. Have you ever sat there and watched your girlfriend getting ready? Like not the whole time, obviously, but you're popping in and out or you're getting ready. And she, I don't know, does a little bit of like the underlayer of the makeup. I don't know, guys, bit of foundation, bit of, you know, eyeliner, whatever. I don't know. And you're looking at her and you're like, you're done. You look great. And she's like, I'm not done. I've got hours to get ready yet. And then she'll do the lashes and then the hair and then the whatever. And you're like, fuck, you looked perfect 2 hours ago. Like that. Now you still look great. You look pretty, whatever. But it's like, you would like the natural version of you 2 hours ago when you just did the bare minimum was the best version. Like you look the best. You know, you ever Seeing your girl, just like you wake up in the morning, she's laid in bed with you with no makeup on, just like a baggy white t-shirt, and she's got her hair tied back and she puts her glasses on, and you'll just be like, I want to fuck you right now. There's just, do you know what I mean? It's just something. It just hits you. And it's the same with men. We've lost this fucking idea. It's like so many guys out there go and make a bunch of money and they completely fuck up. They're like, I'm going to go and buy the neon green Lamborghini. I'm going to wear the Yeezy boots. I'm going to wear that golden black Versace shirt and everyone's going to know I'm rich. I'm going to go and buy a 30 grand watch that looks like something a child made, but everyone's going to know I am Money Mayweather. It's like, it doesn't really work. Right? And Chris, what do you mean it doesn't work? Guys with money asleep. It's a certain type of woman. It's a certain type of woman, okay? It's not that simplistic, and this is a compliment, simplistic yet beautiful model-looking women that don't need a lot of makeup. They dress a certain way. And this is a discussion that me and my friend had. I said to her, I was like, you're the type of woman that can have any single man she wants because you're everybody's type. Do you know what I mean, guys? Does that make sense? Like, I found out years ago, and this is how we got onto the discussion, is like, for example, myself, I'm quite simplistic looking. I wouldn't say I'm anything fancy. I don't think many people look at me and go, oh my God, that guy's whatever is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in really good shape, but I'm just like big. I'm like a 95 kilogram, 6'2" guy. I've got the shaved heads. The beard's not over groomed. It's not like a line here and a line here and it connects here and it connects it. It's very natural looking but neat. Do you know, like I'm wearing black on black, nice leather jacket. It's just very simplistic. And what I found when I went for that style, and I'll get into that style more as we move forward, because now that we're into autumn, winter, it is essential and I need to show you guys some stuff. I probably need to do another fashion haul. I should take you guys shopping. I should do like a vlog and show you guys some stuff. Or do it at the computer and actually shop in real time and show you guys what I would actually buy and whatever. But I found when I went for that simplistic style of just, I've got some black Chelsea boots on right now. They're suede. I've got some light blue jeans on. I've got a black t-shirt and a black leather jacket. I've got a neat and tidy beard, shaved heads. Skin's looking pretty good, just well groomed, and I'm just pretty much a normal guy who's just done quite well for himself. But I'm not showing up in like a green Lamborghini. You know, I'm showing up in a Range Rover. Okay? And if you were to show up in a black Audi, which was very, you know, inside the interior is a nice normal color. It's not like bright yellow and you're trying to, do you know what I mean? It doesn't have some unique cologne that when you get in, you're like, oh my God, that stinks. Yeah, but it was £400. None of that shit, right? And when I went very simplistic, I not only attracted the most women in my life, I not only attracted the best quality woman of my life, I also attracted a giant range of women. And this is the point that I'm making now. I don't think I'm particularly good looking. I don't think I'm anything particularly special. But what I am is a universal type. Okay, and it's purposeful. I knew what I was doing. If I'm me, like my type, as you guys know, or I'm not limited to this type, but my main type for years was black women. There's a lot of black women that don't find white men attractive. There's a lot of Asian women that don't find white men attractive. They find me attractive. Okay? So they'll be like, I don't really like white guys. Usually they're like, but you're really attractive. There's something about you. It's because it's safe. It's normal. There's nothing strange about you. There's nothing weird. Do you understand where I'm coming from here, guys? You can overdo it. Okay? And there's guys on the other end of the scale that have gone, I'm going to be a classy gentleman. Do you remember, was his name Jai Dana? Was that how you say his name? What song did he sing? Classic man. I'll bring up a picture of him. He had like the blonde perm, and then he would always wear like a 3-piece suit. He would have cigars and a pocket square. It's too much. The guy who dates Khloe Kardashian, He walks along with the three-piece suit and the cane. It's too much. It's too much. Now, these guys are famous, so they're still getting women, but you border over to that creepy rich guy. You know, that type of guy that's walking over in a three-piece suit, the slick back hair, the cane in the hand is like, hello, ladies, what's going on tonight? You know, those creepy guys that, yeah, you look the part, yeah, you've got the money and whatnot, and you're wearing an expensive outfit, you get out of the expensive car, but you're just a rich creep. And that's one thing that I will always pride myself on, not being a rich creep, but just being very fucking level-headed and normal. I get that from my family. I get that from my mum and dad and sister and whatever. If somebody in our family was like, I'm fucking great at everything, everybody else would be like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? It was like very Scandinavian in nature. It was like, calm down, man. Like, you ain't that great. You haven't done anything yet. Like, occasionally I'll say some things as like a joke and whatever, but my main demeanor, 23-6, will just be relaxed, calm, just having normal conversations with people. Like, I've met subscribers and they've been like, how you doing, buddy? I watch all your videos. And I'm just like, yeah, how you doing, man? Do you want to sit down? I'm literally just grabbed a drink. Do you want me to grab you one? They're like, wait, what? I'm just a very normal, laid back guy. That type, if you then pair that with, let's say you're just you've got in moderately good shape, you groom yourself well, everything's pretty safe, you're just a normal looking guy, but you make the best of yourself. You then go and get like a nice grey cashmere coat, one of those long ones for winter. Okay, you go and get yourself some black boots, some black jeans, and then, a black turtleneck or something like that. All right, so black, grey. It's just so safe. And instead of going and buying one of those 20-gram watches, you go and buy £400 Corniche watch, which I'll bring up on screen now. Very simplistic, down-to-earth watch. Instead of having some like gadgety wallet, you just have a normal wallet. Just nice, normal brown leather wallet. Normal, nothing over the top. Your phone isn't like a crazy phone case with a picture of you on the back, like, or something stupid. Just a normal phone. It's all black. It's very simplistic, guys. I promise you'll have more women than you've ever wanted in your life. Don't pull up in that bright green Lamborghini, peacocking. I've never understood the whole peacocking thing. Women, like, there'll be a certain type of woman that's like, hey, he's rich, I'm going to latch onto him. You've got to play it very safe in life. Okay, you can have money, you can have expensive shit, but you've got to play it safe in terms of style. Having money doesn't mean you've got style. Doesn't mean you're the right... I love that quote, and I've said it many times on here. When Meek Mill said... I think he said a Billy doesn't make you real, or a Billy doesn't make you thorough. And I've seen this a million times, like how many guys are like successful, got loads of money, but they're creepy, they're weird, they don't get it. They don't understand what it takes. Okay, and I've been broke. Me and my friend discussed this the other day. We were saying that, because there's a girl that I'm dating at the moment. She's got rappers and footballers in her DMs, and they're mega famous, like Premier League and one of the most famous rappers in the UK. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I was like, she'd rather fuck me, and she just ignores them. And he was like, yeah, but it's because those guys are just weird. He was like, they've got money and they've got the fame, but they're strange. They're just creepy guys. He was like, when you were younger and you had none of this, he was like, you had to learn how to speak to women properly. He was like, you had to learn the game. So that once you got the money later on in life and you became who you always wanted to be, it was like you still had that foundation of, when you were broke and you didn't have nice clothes and you had to rely on like your, like having the ability to strike up a normal conversation with a woman, like making countless mistakes because you're not famous, you can't get away with it. You're not rich, you can't get away with it. So it's like, she just went, no, go away. And you're like, okay, I have to change tactics here. That was a little bit weird. That was a bit forceful. That was too much. And then you learn it over time. You become quite level-headed and sensible. And you just, like I said, you just become a normal guy. Now, if you're pulling up in that light green Lamborghini, guys, I promise you, You'll attract a certain type of woman. You might make some level of an impact, but the better, safe option is to pull up in like a nice black Range Rover. You know, a white Range Rover. And that doesn't mean like a blacked out Range Rover with the tinted windows and then the custom rims and all that stuff. Like, just no. Like, don't think rapper. Don't think mafia mob boss. You know, think you can look a certain way, because I think I look like a fucking Albanian mafia boss. But be sophisticated, be classy, be normal, be a normal guy, be a normal man. You know, somebody who just, like, honest to God, I think every woman in the world's wet dream is to be with a normal guy with a normal name, with a normal personality, who just earns a decent amount of money, but doesn't embarrass her. You know, it's very simple. It's just very simple. This is what women look at. They'll see a guy, super handsome guy. He's got everything. He's got one of those wacky beards where, like, there'll be a line like drawn through here, and then it'll connect again, and then it'll go through here, and there'll be like some tram lines in his hair or whatever. And she's just like, if you're below 18 years old, don't listen to me. Go and do the tram lines, the bleach blonde hair. Go and wear Supreme head to toe. Go and wear Yeezys, because girls will be like, oh, I really like him. He's got great fashion sense. She has no idea, right? But once you get past a certain age, it's like, women want safe. They don't want to show you to their friends and be like, fuck, he's embarrassing. Why did he show up in the purple waistcoat? Oh, babe, it's a fashion statement. You know, this cost £200. This is from Gucci. And she's like, yeah, but you just look like you look like the Joker. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, women just want to be like, here's my normal boyfriend. Here's my normal, handsome, high-earning boyfriend. But he's a decent guy. He doesn't say anything weird. Like, she doesn't want you to be sat at a table. Put it this way, you'll all understand this. She doesn't want you to be sat at the table and be like, yeah, I kind of agree, but have you heard what Andrew Tate says on that subject? She'll be like, oh, please shut up. Please don't, not in front of my friends and family. You're embarrassing me. Now they're going to assume you're a certain type of person. That shit is what I'm talking about, okay, guys? That's the crux of the game. Like, I will bring up some examples of not too classy, not overdoing it like a creep, but also not being a bum and dressing like Jake Paul, or going and getting a gold-wrapped Lamborghini like HS Tiki Toki. And I'm not shitting on these guys. They just don't get it. They just don't understand it. Usually it's an American thing. Usually Americans don't understand class like the Europeans do. British guys aren't good at it, so I'm not claiming we're great. I'm saying, like, the Italians, the Spanish, the French, they get it like we don't. Okay, they're just very calm and collected, and it just works. It just fucking works. Just being the calm, relaxed guy who doesn't try and be too flamboyant, too flashy. Like, I'll upload some pictures now of Floyd Mayweather's watches. I mean, apparently he's got an $18 million watch collection. I think those watches are disgusting. I wouldn't wear them. I would have them because then I would sell them, but I wouldn't wear those watches. I think they're ugly. I think they're childlike. I don't like them. I don't think they're great. You know, it's like some guy gets rich. He buys some Louis Vuitton shoes with the red bottoms on, and then he goes to a local jeweler and he's like, I want to get these diamond encrusted with my initials on, and I want a custom number plate on my car. It's like, buddy, you're a dick. You're just a dick. Because I promise you, I know guys, and look, this comes from the horse's mouth, okay? I don't brag about, like, people that I meet up with and stuff like that. I don't post pictures of the women that I meet up with. But if I did, you guys would be like, I'd probably triple my following overnight. But this comes from the horse's mouth. Because the woman that I was with the other day, who's just a personal friend of mine, she is of that top level. She is like top 1% women, okay? She, like, all of you would wife her tomorrow. She's got that, like, classy nature, the way she dresses, her composure, the way she talks, the natural beauty, etc. Like, I'm sat with her and she'll be talking to the waiters and stuff, and she'll make a little joke, give them a little flirty wink, and then just like, but it's just harmless. and then just get on with the day. And the guy is just like butter. You can see he's just like folded completely. He's just like, I'm in love with this woman. It's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And this is the woman that is saying the same things to me that I'm now saying to you guys here. Okay, she's making the same points, and she's saying, like, absolutely, you're right. Like, she'll say stuff like, oh, if I saw a guy that was, I'll tell you a story she told me. She was like, I've seen guys who are pretty broke. They're not really doing that well for themselves, but they're like a builder. They're well built. They're very independent, very masculine. They take authority. They're very confident. They lead. You know, they'll be holding her by the hand, leading her into the restaurant. And she's like, I just want to fuck this man. This man is perfect. He could just be in a normal pair of jeans, normal pair of boots, a nice, you know, normal white shirt. But she's like, this guy is unbelievable. He ticks every box. And this is what women want. Okay? If you then add you're a high earner on top of that, look, you become more attractive. Okay? And getting a nice, like, black, long trench coat or something from ASOS compared to getting one from, like, Belstaff or something. Well, the Belstaff one makes you look amazing. They're worlds apart. The texture, the quality, everything. It makes you look amazing. There's a big difference there, okay? It can be a game changer. But what you guys have to understand is normality attracts people. I'll bring up some pictures of girls on screen that I think are beautiful but kind of normal. Right, and you'll see what I mean. And they're like, these girls have got curves, they've got unbelievable features, but they just look like the girl next door. But they're beautiful. And these types of women can get any man they want. You know, like I said, there could be a guy that's like, I don't date girls from that race, but he'll see that woman and be like, damn, but she is unbelievable. Like, for that woman, I would. There's certain just like safe features. Okay, it's like as a man, like, for example, if you just had a well-groomed haircut, just normal hair, you grow it out, you get it well-groomed, not like that Peaky Blinders thing where it's too short on the sides and it's long on the top and it looks like that Rugrat haircut. You know, it's just a well-groomed, normal haircut. It's neat and tidy. Your beard is neat and tidy. Or if you don't have one, you have a little bit of stubble, but it's kept neat. It looks good. You're not doing anything wacky with your eyebrows, like putting 2 slits in there or anything. You haven't got like a face tattoo. Your clothes are just down to earth, but classy and good quality, etc. You know, you're dressing like a David Gandy or a David Beckham. You know, these guys figured it out years ago. Because David Beckham, great example, he used to have the red mohawk. Do you remember, guys? I think he had the red mohawk, he had the blonde one. He went through all these crazy hairstyles until he realized, oh, actually, the safe, normal hairstyle is getting me more money. I'm getting all the brand deals when I do this. I'm getting the Armani boxer ads money when I do this. I'm getting offers from Qatar to be the ambassador for the World Cup. I'm getting those offers when I just become a pillar of society. That's something that a lot of guys don't have and they don't understand because they're young. Okay, a lot of you guys watching this now will be like, I don't really understand what he's talking about. Well, it's a form of life setup and framing, okay, guys? And I talk about this a lot. You know, instead of wearing like a bright red pair of high-top sneakers and they cost £2,000 or $2,000 and you went shopping with Complex, it does nothing for me. Does nothing for me. It does nothing for most women. I promise you. You look like a child. You just look like a baby. It's not the cost of the outfit. It's not the brand. It's the man. You know, and just I would, knowing what I know now and knowing that I'm stealing girls from footballers, I'm stealing girls from rappers, like, and I'm, like I said, famous as fuck. I'm not going to name names, but like, we're globally known, okay? I'm not sure. Like, I would pit myself against any man on planet Earth at this moment in time. I would pit myself against any man on planet Earth. Not to say I'm the best looking. You know, there's going to be some guy that's fucking 6'6", that's super handsome, that dresses in the same way and gets it. Okay, it's fucking hard to compete with, you know? But I would pitch myself against pretty much any man on planet Earth in terms of being able to just be a normal guy, hold a normal conversation, having great life set up, who doesn't have a fucking weird fetish or doesn't have some like underground fucking dungeon or isn't like a creep when he's had a few beers and like starts sliming on women, is like cheating behind women's backs and stuff like that. Just those normal tick boxes, they get you places. You know, meeting a woman on a night out and not being, just not saying the wrong thing. Like, I'm very fucking good at that now. Just having a normal conversation, saying the right thing. Just being down to earth and not being too flamboyant. I wasn't in the past. I would brag about something business-wise or brag about how much money you make. And it's just weird. It just turns women off, okay? It's like if you saw the most beautiful woman ever and she was bragging to you about like how many men want her, you'd be like, I kind of don't find you as attractive anymore. Or if you saw her get drunk and start screaming at another guy, fuck off, you'd be like, I'm not as attractive. She doesn't look as good anymore. It's like a whole blend, okay? And like I said, I see guys make a ton of money, show up in the neon green Lamborghini and that black and gold Versace shirt. Every fucking guy does it, okay? Gucci, Versace, like it's, you know, they get the red bottom Louis Vuittons with the spikes in. It's just, I don't know, Yeezys and whatever. But you don't look good. You look like a man-child who's got daddy's money. I'll give you an example, right? And like I said, it all comes from evidence. This isn't just me guessing. I'm a 30-year-old man who's lived quite a lot, you know, of different lives. And my uncle is in his mid-50s and he still gets women in their 20s and 30s all the time. Young, beautiful women that should be dating me, and he's with them, right? And the reason being, he's about 6'1", 6'2", well-built guy, you know, builder all his life, has made some good money, always has well-groomed stubble, keeps his hair well-groomed, you know, has a few grey hairs in there, a few grey hairs in his beard, makes him look, you know, masculine. Always shows up in nice clothes, always expensive, nice clothes, like a dark green military coat, you know, something that fits him really well. He's gone and got it tailored. It fits him really well. He'll be wearing a normal pair of jeans without the rips in and the holes. I don't understand ripped jeans. I never will. But he'll have a normal pair of jeans, you know, and he's got the big quads because he goes to the gym and keeps himself fit and he's a big guy. He'll have on a pair of Chelsea boots or something and they'll be like 250, 300 pounds and they're clean, they're well polished, they're well, you know, he's well groomed or whatever. Maybe they're brand new because he knows it's a big day. And he'll always smell good. And then you've got these women that are just like, who the hell is that guy? Because it just ticks the masculine box. You know, like if you saw the most beautiful woman ever and she came up to you and went, hey, with a deep voice, you'd be like, oh, it's not quite what I'm looking for. It's not very feminine. Do you know what I mean? Well, women are looking for the same thing in the masculine sense. And there's a bunch of safe clothes and watches and cars. Like if you're a guy, right, who just goes to the gym, keeps himself in shape, dresses the way I described my uncle then, because I don't want to, you know, bore you and say it too many times. Just a normal level-headed guy has got, you know, you can have a great conversation, you're fun to be around, you're never the guy who gets drunk and is like throwing up and causing hassle and trying to fight everybody. You stay calm. You've got like a black Audi. The interior's clean. It smells nice. Your home is nice. You're like, for example, you don't walk into your home and you've got like a tiger sheet on the beds and it's all like silk sheets and silk robes and, you know, just like a sex dungeon. Like she walks into your room and it's like walking into a John Lewis showroom. And she's like, wow, this is like classy. This is normal. This is like a beautiful home that I could live in with this man. These things make the world a difference, okay? They make the world a difference. She doesn't want gimmicks. She doesn't want to get in your car and you've got an air freshener hanging from the wind mirror and it's some gimmicky little thing. It's like it's your favorite cartoon character. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, she just she just wants something normal with a nice scent. Like, you don't have to go for something really strong. And you remember that Family Guy scene? Is it Draken Noir or something like that? Draken Noir. They're on about that cologne, and they're like, they all smell of it. It's like the most intense, potent smell. She doesn't want that. She just wants, like, that's nice. It's not overdone. It's subtle. It works. Like, I know this sounds so weird to you younger guys, but the older guys watching this will be like, he's so right. Like, back in the day, I used to have a red mohawk and I couldn't get any women. Like, then I just scaled it back and just went simplistic and normal. And like I said, if you want to know the truth, if you want to know why this works, look at women. You know, how many women do you know that, let's say she's got bright red hair or bright blue hair and gigantic tits, and she like has the world's biggest cleavage, and then she's got a fake ass, and then she's got these gigantic fish lips, and then she's wearing lashes that are about this fucking long, and she just kind of just looks like a drag queen. You know, in 3 seconds it catches your eye. You're like, oh Jesus, because it's everything feminine. Do you know what I mean? It's all bundled into one, and it's like, oh, like it takes you back. But then your brain rationalizes it. You know, let's say she gets out of a pink Range Rover, and she's wearing those tracksuit bottoms which say juicy on the arse in glitter. You guys know what I mean. You've all seen it. And she's got bright blue hair. I'm going to look and be like, fucking hell no. Hell no. Hell no, I'm not going near that. And she's got a tattoo of a rose all over her right arse cheek. Those sort of girls, I'd be like, fuck no. I'm not going near that. And she's got a pit bull in the back. You know, and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going near a woman like that. Like, no thank you. I'm not going near her. Well, the top level women, they think the same way. Well, like most women think the same way. They want something safe. And it's not all women, but the women that you want, you know, the top level women, the classiest ones, the most beautiful ones. Like, have you ever seen a Victoria's Secret model with just some bummy guy? Always with like CEOs of companies or fashion moguls, you know, people like that. They're at the top of their industry that just look a certain way. Like, there's a certain type of woman that you want in your life. I don't want to put, you know, thoughts in your mind and whatever. But I think a lot of you guys would rather have that, like, naturally beautiful girl next door, sexy when she wants to be type, rather than, you know, a woman that just looks like a porn star. Do you get what I mean, guys? And it's the same with women. They don't, like, certain looks work on certain guys, but she doesn't want you to show up with 50 piercings, 100 tattoos, and, you know, and you've got a mohawk. You've just shaved it all down. You've got a massive mohawk, and yeah, you look like some superstar rapper, but does it work in the real world when you're not famous and super rich, or even if just like you're not famous? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. There's a lot of shit other guys can get away with, because people will be saying, hey, Chris, Jake Paul gets laid. He's famous. Any idiot can get laid. I think Matthew McConaughey said that. Any famous idiot can get laid. But you look at somebody like Matthew McConaughey. Look at who he is now. Look at Dave Bautista back in the day with the big tribal tattoos, and now he dresses like a Hollywood superstar. He dresses more like Brad Pitt. All of these guys that get to the top level figure out the same shit. They figure out the same thing along the way. Oh, the simplistic shit works. The neutral kind of colors, like a royal blue, a navy, black. You know, that like grey and black kind of coat that people have. A grey jacket. Stuff like that. You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to have like for example, this leather jacket now. I've seen leather jackets like this with like a hand-painted dragon on the back. Yeah. No. Look, please don't do that, guys. Just go for the plain one. There's one of these. There's these jackets. They do them with the black zippers and the black, like, all the detailing's black. It looks amazing. And it's got like the shirt, like the fur in the middle, or black fur. It's so simplistic. It's just like, that's the sort of shit you should be buying. That's the sort of image that you should be portraying to the world. The perfect example is watching your girl get ready, like I said, and you're like, babe, you're done. You look amazing. Like, why are you... And then she's like, I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to put this on. Then I'm going to put that on. Then I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to add that. Then I'm going to... It's like, scale it back. Every woman realizes that as she gets older, the less I do, the better I look. And they do. They look so much better. They look classier. And as men, like every man at the top level realizes the same thing. The only problem is women are beautiful at like 18 years old. So by the time they get to like 28, they've mastered it. They figured out their own style. They're like, okay, I know what makes me look best now. As a man, you don't really hit your stride until like 30. So then you're like, I've got all this money. I'm going to go and buy all this expensive shit. Like I'll give you an example. My patio. I went and bought all this furniture. I went and bought the fire pit. I went and bought the sun lounger, the chairs, everything. I look at it now and I'm like, it's too crowded. It's overdone. I hate it. So what I want to do is rip up the AstroTurf, rip up the decking, put some Type 1 down, tamp it all, or get a whacker plate in there. So it's my building background there. Put a bunch of slabs in there. Just like the kind of dark grey kind of slabs. And then move to like have 2 sofas in the middle, the umbrella over the top, and a fire pit table. Just very simplistic, and a couple of lanterns in each corner, just to put some light out there. Very simplistic, don't overdo it, just keep it normal. Like that's what I want to do now. Whereas when I first moved in and I first had money, I was like, let's go crazy, let's get extravagant, let's go for this and that. And over time, you just scale it back. You just realize that's not the way to do it. You know, and every guy goes and gets, like, as soon as they get rich, go and get a bright yellow Lamborghini. I'm going to show these motherfuckers. The next car they buy is always like a black Range Rover. Like 2022 black Range Rover. Oh, I bet the interior, normal interior is just cream. Just looks pretty normal. Oh, okay, so I bet when you're driving along, though, you play like some, you know, fuck you type of music. Like some real serious hip hop that just like gets people, you know, just says to people, yeah, fuck you, look at me, I made it, I got the money and the bitches. Like I did when I first got it, but now I'm playing like James Brown, you know. Now I'm just playing some really calming music. Now I'm just playing something like, you know, something relaxing, something just calming, something like your taste in music shouldn't matter too much. But we've all seen those guys. Like I remember when I used to live in London, and it was always the Asian or the Arab guys, and they'd always drive past with like the latest Drake song playing at the loudest volume, and they'd have like a gold wrapped Bentley, and you know, you just know if they got out of that car, they'd be wearing Gucci head to toe, and they've got the shades on, and they're looking at women like that as they drive past, like doing that little over the top of the shades look like that. And it's just weird. It's like, bro, you're creepy. You're creepy. You've overdone it. You're overcooked. Scale it back, man. It's too much. You might like, I've got money. She'll want me. It's like it's such a small part if you do it wrong. It's a massive part if you do it right. It's what you do with the money, not so much how much money you have. Okay, guys. I hope that makes sense. Never gets spoken about. I think a lot of guys like to keep it to themselves. This all started, and you guys will remember me talking about David Gandhi years ago. And they said to David Gandhi, they did an interview with him, and they said, why can some guys not get laid? And he was like, because they're wearing like a gimmicky t-shirt or like a hoodie with Space Invaders on, and it's got like the whole Space Invaders kind of like gameplay going on, where like somebody, like it looks as though the aliens are shooting down and you're moving around, or you know, it's got some sort of gimmick. Think Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, where he'd wear like the blazer, and then underneath it would be like a Rolling Stones t-shirt. I promise you that shit's weak. That shit just doesn't work, okay? And like when guys have like, guys will have like the blazer on, the fedora hat, the waistcoat, then they'll have like a chain. We've all seen them. It's just like, buddy, you're overdone. It's like, yeah, but I'm classy. I've got a great fashion sense. All the women think I dress well. It's like, they don't. I promise you they don't. You'd be better off just getting a plain white t-shirt, a nice black cashmere coat. You know, collectively, you go and buy those two items for like £300. Just spend some decent quality and get yourself in shape. Go and get a decent beard trim or haircut. Like something normal, not overdone. Don't over groom yourself. And then, you know, just some nice normal brand boots or something, or black boots, and just a normal pair of black or blue jeans. That will do you justice. Like that alone. You know, not look at my new phone case with a cat on it and a funny joke. Like scale that shit back. I heard Kevin Samuel say this before, like, so too many guys, he said it too, like they're trying to be the funny guy all the time. They're trying to be goofy. That's the word he used. He said they're trying to be goofy. They're trying to be, you know, they're trying to always crack a joke and find a funny moment. It's like sometimes just be normal. Just handle situations. Just get on with life. Like, you would be surprised. Like, people always say, oh, women want a guy with a great personality. You can make them laugh and whatnot. Yeah, there's a time and a place for that and whatever, but in my experience, and this doesn't mean being serious all the time, but in my experience, women just resonate with a guy that they go, fuck, you're just normal. Like, he's not going to rape me. He's not going to embarrass me. He's not said anything fucking stupid. He's got very level-headed opinions. He's not overly aggressive. He's not going to hit me. It's just like, this is a normal guy from a good family home with good values, who wants the same thing that I want. And I've had a great night with him, you know, and he hasn't made a meal out of paying and whatnot. He's not bragged about himself. He's just, now you can social proof yourself wearing nice stuff and whatever. And she's probably done some background research on you. If she's gone on a date with you, she probably knows what job you do and whatever. You might pick her up in a nice car. Like, there's assumptions that can be made. But all in all, you just got to be normal. Like, normal gives you a widespread attraction. Classy normal, expensive normal. It should be a whole style. You remember that old money style that people always talk about? It's not so, like, the preppy thing is hit or miss, okay? But the colors that they used is pretty much bang on. Like, you can't go far wrong. You're wearing like forest green, navy blue. There's a very, very dark shade of red that you can get away with, like grey, black, white. You can't go wrong, guys. You really can't go wrong. But if you're walking along with like a yellow pair of shoes that has green laces and blue trousers and a green waistcoat up top, and you've dyed your hair orange and you're like, yeah, but I'm drippy. Please just get out of my face, because you're not drippy. The only thing dripping will be your nose if you don't move. Those sort of guys just, they don't get it because they're young, but at some point, guys, it will click for you. And you go, fuck, like, I've been doing way too much. I've been trying too hard. Like, the amount of guys, I'm telling you, that I know that are on 30,000 per year, 20,000 per year, nothing special. They're builders. But they're just normal, level-headed. You can have a great conversation with them. They go to the gym. On a night out, they wear some, like, nice aftershave, put some normal shoes on, normal jeans, normal jumper. They just look, you know, presentable. They're just a normal guy. And women are just like, yeah, I like him. I've got no reason to say no. That's the biggest part of it. It's just being like a normal guy with no reason to say no. Now, added to that, if you're that normal guy and then you've got a bit of height, yeah, it's a weapon. If you're that normal guy and now you've got a little bit of money, it's a weapon. If you're a normal guy and then you just turn up in a nice car, fantastic, as a weapon. If you're a normal guy and then because you've been hitting the gym and grooming yourself and whatever, hey, look, he's a handsome guy. You know, he's not Brad Pitt, but fuck, he's quite a handsome guy. I promise you can pretty much get any woman you want on planet Earth. It really is that easy, because there's not many guys like that. So, like, just stop overdoing it, guys. Stop, you know, trying to stop peacocking. Stop trying to, you know, find that drippy style and, you know, overdo everything. Stop searching like Jake Paul outfit. It won't work for you because he's a celebrity. He's famous. Girls will fuck him because he's Jake Paul. But it will be a certain type of girl. His brother Logan has nailed it. You know, back in the day, he used to look a little bit weird. He was a little bit strange. Now he's like figured it out. He's like, okay, a little bit stubble, get that haircut trimmed in. It's not like wild out here looking like Sideshow Bob. He's like trimmed it in, made it look neat and tidy. He's obviously got some top level stylists to like look into it for him. He got in shape, lowered his body fat. Now he looks like a real man now. He's dressing better. He just looks sharper. I think he's probably done like a steroid cycle of some sorts because he just looks thicker around the neck, the face, the shoulders, everything. But he's brought his whole style together. He's becoming like a man now. And the woman that he's dating at the moment, I had a look, is I think she's like a 30-year-old model. And she's beautiful. And she fits that type. The type that I spoke about earlier. Now, the thing is, some guys like thicker women, some guys, like we all have different types, but it would always fit the same mold. You know, like I said, it's like porn for women. If a guy shows up in like a black cashmere coat, like a grey turtleneck underneath, not like black jeans and some like grey boots, so the whole outfit matches or something like that, or like one of those brown wool coats, like the camel type of coats, and then everything else is black, and he's got a nice watch on. He gets out of a nice, normal, sophisticated car. Maybe it's just like a white Panamera. It's not got like custom rims or a loud exhaust or something like that. And it's very like the interior is just black. It's very sophisticated. He walks over to the till, the restaurant where she's just seen him get out. He walks over. He's just like, morning, how are you? Everyone okay? Yeah, can I just get a blah, blah, blah. Orders a normal drink. You know, something. It's just like, okay. You know, it's not like, oh, can I have a beer at 9 a.m.? Yeah, I love a fucking drink. What about drink driving? Fuck it, if the police catch me. Those sort of guys women view as morons. I promise you. You know, if it's like, I like to go out on a Saturday and have a fight. Yeah, it's just me. You could be the most handsome, tall, wealthiest guy in the world. You're not getting any women. Okay, it just doesn't work. You're a moron. And like I said, you walk up to the till, normal order, you're polite. Yeah, thank you. Make strong eye contact. Thank you, I'll see you again. Walk out, get back in your car. That leaves 1,000,000% higher impression than like, yeah, well, I just bought this car. It's like 50K. I'm earning like 100K a fucking month at the moment. I'm killing it. Look at my watch. Have you ever seen one of these? You know, and you're there in just some like flashy clothes or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? It's what you don't want. I was in Starbucks the other day and somebody said, I like your jacket. And I was just like, oh, thank you. And they were like, where's it from? I was like, oh, it's just a company called Bodeskins. And you just had a normal discussion about it. And we were talking about the quality. I was like, it's unbelievable the quality that they do. I was like, I was going to make my own. But once I saw like the level of quality that they make, I was like, I realized that to up my game. And they were like, oh, what do you do? So it's like a very organic way to get into what you do in your business. And instead of being like, oh, what I do, let me tell you, it's like, it's hard to explain, kind of an entrepreneur. We've got a bit of a social presence. Like I've got a few products based in the men's industry. You don't have to like go into detail. Do you know what I mean? Like that is what I mean about like normal, kind of down to earth. You don't necessarily have to be humble, but just normal, down to earth type of guy. Because in the past, I've been the cocky idiot. I've been the flashy guy. I bought the gimmicky t-shirt with like the picture of a beach on and all that shit. Like when people used to wear that, you remember the picture of Rihanna when she had the red hair and guys used to wear that as like a square. It's like the Geordie Shore era. That's all gone, I promise you. David Gandy said this. He was like, got more guys, if you want to get laid, just buy plain clothes. You know, just buy a plain jumper, a plain t-shirt, a plain jacket. The brand and the make can be on the inside, but it's, you know, doesn't have to be like Gucci, Versace, you know, written across the fucking front. Like, it's just overdone, guys. It's really overdone. And I promise you, the guy walking along in the black cashmere coat with quite a neat but natural looking beard with his dog on the lead, you know, and it's not a fucking pit bull or a Rottweiler. It's just like a nice, normal, friendly dog. And he's walking along the street. And he's just being polite. You know, he's just letting people past. He's smiling. He's getting on with his life. He's gone and picked up a drink from the shop. And he's, you know, and everybody's saying hi to his dog. And he will have women coming out of his ears. I'm telling you. It will be falling all over him. And then if he walks to his car and it's a normal, I don't know, a white Range Rover. The dog jumps in the back. Closes the boot down, gets in his car, drives off with, let's say, just something normal that he's listening to. It just doesn't like jump in his car, turn it on. It's like Slipknot. Nothing crazy. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't blast the volume up to like 400%. He's got subwoofers in the back and the dog's fucking dying in the back. He just, is very calm, relaxed. He might even be listening to the normal radio, just listening to the news updates. It's just something normal that people do. That shit goes a long fucking way. It goes so far. I cannot teach you anything better in terms of life setup and framing. I need to... What's the date? 1st of November, because all my products will be in stock then and everything will be done. People are worrying about the supplements. They're in stock the 27th, so 2 days' time. The body wash has been shipped today. Tomorrow morning it'll be shipped. That's 1,000 units. The boxers are currently at customs. So everything's going to be in stock. Stream platform I've been working on, paid the final bill today. Everything's pretty much done. So I'm in a position now where I'm like, hey, let's go and focus on autumn, winter fashion. Let's do the stuff that I just spoke to you guys about. I can spare like $5,000 on clothes. I'll guide you through it. I'll show you guys. I'll buy a bunch of watches, a bunch of clothes, shoes, etc. I'll show you guys certain things, okay? And then you'll click. You'll be like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. It's not overdone. It's not, Versace silk shirt with 7 buttons undone and the hamburger meat all hanging out. That's a Fast and Furious quote from Tyrese. You've not got like the massive blingy gold chains swinging around. It's just like it attracts a certain type of person. Like I said, there's rappers that have that and they're trying to sleep with the girls that I'm sleeping with, and the girls that I'm sleeping with are rejecting them and then opting for me because they can take me home to their parents. They can go for a meal with me. They can have a conversation with me. They can spend a week with me and be like, that was fun. That was engaging. His house is normal. He's not got fucking drugs in the house. Do you know what I mean? Just little things like that. He's not got side hose coming out of the second bedroom when I arrive. Like, just normal stuff. Women don't want chaos. They would quite like to be with a man called John or Michael who, is 5'10", dresses well, has a decent job, 50, 60K per year, is well spoken, comes from a good family. I promise you, those guys fucking kill it. Those guys kill it. They're just normal across the board. Just tick, 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 tick. Not the guy with the wacky haircut, dyed it all pink and is trying to impress everybody and has fucking 50 piercings all over his face and ears, a head tattoo. It's like, oh, wait, that's me with a head tattoo. A face tattoo, a massive neck tattoo and everything. It's like it works for a certain demographic. It works for a very small portion of men. The safest thing you can do, which garners the best results across the board with women of all ages, from all races, from all backgrounds. I've got Bengali women that are family attractive. I've got Muslim women that are family attractive. Black women, white women, women that are 40 years old that are trying to sleep with me. Women that are 18 years old that are trying to sleep with me. It's across the board, guys. It's just like an exact type. Like if I were to describe to you, and I call them slinky women. Those women that have got thin arms, well, thin limbs. So they've got the little neck, the little arms, the low body fat. But then they've got C or D tits. So they've got the little frame, but then they've got the big tits, the wide hips, and the arse is a decent enough size. And then on top of that, they've got quite a natural, organic, kind of model-looking girl next door face. Those sort of girls, man, they're for everybody. Every guy on the planet Earth is that's my dream woman. That's my wife. I would settle down with her. And like I said, I'll bring up a few examples of that where it's look, I haven't had time to find diversity. I'm not going to go on my phone, on the computer and find a woman from every race that fit. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got time to do that. And there's also curvier women that guys, I prefer curvier women. But as a general type, a woman like that I just described, I'm not saying no to a woman like that. There's no way. It's just every box is ticked. Do you know what I mean? And if she dresses in that professional, sophisticated manner that I spoke about, she doesn't get drunk out of her mind. The real, just simple, mature, adult stuff. where you're just like, this is a wife. This is somebody that I can trust to raise my children. That's a big one, guys. That's a big one. And you've got to think, you know, and somebody they can take home to their parents and show their friends, and you're not going to embarrass them. And it's the same in reverse. Like, you know, or sorry, like you can take that woman home and it's not going to embarrass you, but it's the same in reverse. Like women will constantly be thinking that. They'll constantly be thinking that. Like they can see you and make a snap judgment and be like, no, I don't want to show him to my friends. Like slightly embarrassing. I don't know what he's done. You know, those guys that are peacocking, that are doing too much. They're wearing like a purple pimp outfit and they're like, women notice me. They always give me compliments. Like, yeah, but none of them are fucking you. None of them are taking, like, wanting to go home with you and whatever. Like the amount of guys that I've seen, this area is big for it. Okay, I live in an area where, you know, a lot of guys wear like the farmer outfits. A lot of that sophisticated fashion originated in places like this. Like you'll see guys in like tweed, you'll see guys in like a black cashmere coat, you'll see like the classy kind of farmer outfits, like the old money like gun shooting jackets, that sort of stuff. You see that all the time here. It's a safe option, and the amount of guys that I've seen that are a little bit older, that've got a bit of money, that are driving just like a black Range Rover, that are dressed in that way, just well-groomed, not a super handsome guy, just making the best of himself. And the woman that gets out the car is always like an 8, 9, or a 10. Always. It's always like one of the most beautiful women in the area. It just, do you know what I mean? It's just a safe option. You can't go wrong with it, guys. So that's my message to you in this video. It's almost like the other side of male life. It's something similar. But it needs to be said. It's like, normal is attractive. And that doesn't mean boring. That doesn't mean you're going to sit on the date and go, yeah, I agree. Okay, yep. You can still have a personality. You can still have everything else that comes with that. You can still have your own opinions and whatnot. You know, but the last thing a woman wants to do, and the last thing as a man, if I went on a date and I was sat opposite a woman, and let's say, because I like black women, right? Let's say if I was sat there and she went, do you know the problem with white people? I'd be like, oh my God, get out of here. You know, you're on a date with a woman, she's like, the problem with men is, as a feminist, I'd be like, oh, please just leave. Just leave. You know, women want the same in reverse. They don't want you to be like, you know, they don't want you to sit there and be like, I'm a massive Andrew Tate fan. They just get put off by shit like that. They're just like, oh no, he's weird. He's strange. You know, like I watch Fresh and Fit every night. She's going to be like, oh, damn, that's a massive red flag. This guy's a little bit of an incel. You know, or if you just sit there and you're like, maybe you get onto this. I've had discussions like this with women where, you know, they'll tell you like what type of porn they watch or something like that. Like you've known each other a little while and they'll tell you, if you sat there and you went, oh, I like anime porn, she might be like, oh my God, he's a fucking freak. Guy's a weirdo. I'm gone. It's just like, do you know what I mean? Just don't be weird. Don't do weird shit. There's so many creeps in the world that just say and do creepy things. It's like, just be normal, just be relaxed, and that might not be your persona. Learn it, figure it out quickly. You know, become, you know, those people where like a situation happens and you're like, buddy, what the fuck, you can't do that. And they're like, why not? And they don't quite get it. And everybody else is like, you can't do that. It's just unacceptable. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, it's fine, isn't it? And they don't quite get life. That's a skill, to just understand life, to understand situations. I've spoken to women in the past or had scenarios, and then I've gone, oh, but actually come to think of it, you know, you might not feel safe coming home with me in that scenario. And they're like, thank you for thinking of that. And like, that was on their mind and they're waiting for you. And then they go, fuck, this guy gets it. He's level-headed. And then the fact you even said it, she's like, no, I trust you now. I'm going to come home with you. You know, she just wants to know that you get that. Like, we're not sleeping together first night. And you're like, I know. Like, I wouldn't want to anyway. I don't know you. I've worked myself up to a decent position in life. I can't trust you yet. You know, and I don't say that as a tactic. I say that because that's genuine. And then she's like, oh, fuck, this guy's not some weirdo. He's got something to lose. I value him quite well. That's quite a normal thing to say, actually. It's very logical and mature. Those sort of qualities are sexy. Then you couple that with a nice car, you know, in a normal color. There's not like a fucking bright orange, you know, McLaren or Koenigsegg or something like that, which is just like, oh god, it's over the top, you know, because women don't want that, and it just all comes together. Don't be one of those guys that says fam all the time and yes, yes, my G, what's going on? What's going on? Yes, fam, yes, fam. Again, you're not getting laid, you're not getting women, you're not gonna have a normal life. Like that is what 0.01% of girls are looking for, and they're probably under 19 years old. Okay? Oh, he's so attractive. I'm really into those type of guys. Yeah, have them. That's fine. I'm not into girls like you, so yeah, go ahead, have them. But if you want to get like a high level woman, a classy woman, you got to do those sort of things that I've been speaking about. You can't just show up, like I said, in the fucking neon green car with the bright blue shoes and like a just bright orange tracksuit and be like, but it's drippy because it's from Supreme and it's all logoed up. Like, stop, man. Remember when guys used to wear the price tag on the hats in like the early 2000s? And they'd always wear those oversized shirts and they'd have the hat on with the price tag hanging down. It's like, even then I thought it was silly. There's something with men. We get money and we go, I've got to go overboard. I've got to go over the top. I've got to buy the most expensive jewelry. You know, I've got to get like a flame shirt, a flame silk shirt. I honestly, guys, I don't get it. I will never understand it. I got to go and buy those £1,000 Louboutin shoes. And there's nothing wrong with Louboutin shoes. Some of them are very nice. Some of them are more down to earth and simplistic. But they'll go and buy the ones with the spikes in, and they'll go and get a leather jacket with shoulder spikes. And they'll be like, this jacket was 12K. I promise you it doesn't matter. You know, those guys that go into a club and they go and get bottle service and they sit there, you know, all the sparklers and they're filming it all, putting it on Snapchat, and they're like, we're balling out of control tonight. Fuck everybody. We're winning in life. The hustle never stops. It's not you. It's just not you. You're not the guy. You will attract a couple hoes in that club that are just looking for some wealthy guys just to spoil them for a little while. But there's men like me, there's men like my uncle, there's men like David Gandy, and we've just figured shit out. Right? David Gandy, 10 times better looking than myself. You know? But there's just something that we've both figured out. There's a certain way to talk. Like Obama figured it out. Why do you think Obama was the first black president? Because he just knew, he just had that demeanor where he got respected, where people went, oh fuck, he's the right man for the job. You know, and there's just certain things that you have to do that just puts you at a certain level. There's a certain way to dress, a certain way to speak, a certain level of composure, a certain tonality, a certain vocabulary, you know, a certain look that you have. A certain car that is acceptable to drive. You know, you'd never see Obama pull up in, like I said, a neon green Lamborghini. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's going to have a driver, and it's going to be a nice black car, and it's not going to have blacked out windows unless it, you know, it's that celebrity thing. It's not going to have custom spinners on the wheels. Like, it's not going to have a loud exhaust. He's going to get out wearing a nice long black coat. He might have his gloves on, his scarf like wrapped around his neck to add a little bit of colour. He's going to look the person in the eye, strong handshake, his bellowing voice, nice to meet you, and then he's going to move on. There's a certain type of man. That's the image you have to cast, guys, okay? Now, you don't have to be who I'm telling you to be. I'm just telling you from experience. I've tried fucking everything. That style, that demeanor, that masculine vibe, if you can pull it off, it's the easiest life in the world. Like I said, you could travel to any country, every woman will want you. You can be with a 40-year-old woman or an 18-year-old woman, they both want to fuck you. You could be with any woman from any race, they all want to fuck you, even if you're not their type. You know, we all know, like, I'm not particularly into Asian women. You know, a lot of white guys are really into Asian women. It's never really done it for me. But there's certain Asian women that I've seen in my life that I'm like, oh my God, she is just unbelievable. You know? And it's because they don't fit a certain type. You know, a lot of people associate Asian women with some like negative stereotypes, and I don't have to go into it. I think you guys get it. Do you know what I mean? But then you find a very like westernized Asian woman. She dresses a certain way and she's just stunning. She's just got the perfect body, perfect composure, and you're just like, yeah, of course I'd be with that woman. Do you know what I mean? It's like it just changes your entire idea. You might not like red-headed women, but I guarantee I could find at least 100 red-headed women out there who just dress a certain way, have a certain composure about them, a certain natural look where you're just like, Jesus, that woman is hot. Jesus, that woman's unbelievable. You can sit and have a conversation with that woman. She's just sophisticated. The same works in reverse when women look at men. It's like porn to women. It has like a 10x effect. And I'm telling you, as a man, the older you get, the more important it is. I would say, obviously, like beauty's like top of the list. Like I've got to find a woman attractive. But the clothes that she wears and like her overall demeanor has now become almost like 40, 50% of the game for me. Like my initial attraction, I'm like, fuck, I love the way that woman's dressing. She looks classy as hell. She looks like a sophisticated woman. I want to go and speak to her. I'm going to go and have a chat. There's just a certain type. Do you know what I mean? It works for women too, but it's like a 10x effect. They have it from a younger age too. They might be like 21 and they have the same thing. Where they just see you wearing... If any of you guys have ever had a girlfriend and you go and buy like a new coat or something, or a new shirt, you get a coat and a nice scarf, like some boots, something you've never worn before, but you went and bought it because you had a job interview. You come back from that job interview, your woman is like, oh my God, like come here. You look incredible. I want to fuck you. I want to fuck you with those clothes on. They just change. I had a girl once, that my first ever girlfriend, and it's not necessarily a good thing, but I used to drive some green Peugeot 206. Nothing wrong with that. I was still the same guy that I am today. Just a lot less money, but I was still the same like kind of composed guy. And she wanted me for me, like the person that I was, because I would put her in a place. I would be very masculine. I would lead the day. I wasn't quite as experienced as I am today, but I had the beginnings of like kind of outlier male, alpha male traits. I was naturally masculine. It helped. But she said to me one day, she was like, God, imagine you with a nice watch on in an Audi. It was like a black or grey Audi. I bet you'd look so good. And I was like, look, don't tell me what to drive and how to dress. I'm not having it. But at the same time, like, that wasn't in an angry way. I was like, look, just don't tell me, like, if you don't want me for me, then you can fuck off, sort of thing. And then we moved on with our day, but that was just the natural masculine tendencies that I have. But it stuck with me because I was like, yeah, of course it matters. And she didn't say, oh, imagine you at the wheel of like a green Lamborghini. She said like a black Audi with she was like a navy blue watch on with what you're wearing now. She was like just named a normal company. It's within any guy's budget. It's within any guy's reach. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Just simplest thing. Normal black phone. Just normal clothes. Just, I have to do a shopping spree for you guys. I have to go and do one and show you all the stuff that you should be looking at. I will give you a bunch of really good websites that you can look at as well. Now, some of the clothes might be expensive. My life's gone up in terms of quality in the last year or so. And I like quality, but you'll get what I mean. It will give you a little insight. I'll try and find some clothing websites that are a little bit cheaper, and I'll be like, guys, that, pair with that. Pair it with that, and that's going to work. Okay? It's just, like I said, don't overcomplicate it. Like, we've all seen our woman look natural, like hair tied up, glasses on, normal round the house clothes, and been like, damn, she looks like she could just mother some kids. Just looks like a wife sitting in the house. Damn, she looks fucking sexy. Women have that same shit. Okay? It doesn't always have to be like, yeah, women look great in heels and lingerie and with all the makeup done. I'm not saying that, but sometimes it's like, you've overdone it. You look so good when you just dress simple. It's so good when you're doing the simplest things. Women, like, you could be doing the washing up and a woman will be staring at you. Just know about that. Just tap into that shit. It's like a sixth sense that not every guy will ever learn, But when you learn it, it's like, oh, this is a cheat code. It's too easy. There's like a set type of outfit, a set type of man, a set type of aura, persona, personality type. It's just, do you know what I mean? You guys, some of you guys already know. Some of you guys, it's clicked during this video. Some of you guys will be thinking this cunt's ranting again. He's gone on for another hour. But it'll click. And at some point in the future, you'll take a little holiday to Paris with your girlfriend or Florence, something like that. And you'll see a guy, because I had this, you'll see a guy who's very well groomed, great skin, well groomed beard, haircut, wearing an outfit that you just never even thought of putting together. And he walks past and you're just like, oh my God, there's levels to this game. Oh, there's levels to this game. I'm nowhere near that. Who the fuck was that guy? That guy looked like something off a movie set. You know? I've seen that a few times in my life and I've been like, damn, I need to up my game. Now I'm in a position where people do it to me. You walk down the street and you can see people looking at you like almost a little bit intimidated. And, who knows if that's true? That might be my ego talking, but it seems that way. They're doing the same thing that I used to do. They're intimidated by you. Guys walk along the road with their girlfriend and they'll like put their arm around her or grab her hands and like pull her really close. Or try and like, they'll cross the road when they see you coming. I've noticed that. Again, could be my ego. I could be picking up on stupid shit. But I've noticed that a lot. And there is just certain safe types. It's the same with women. There's all of us could build our perfect woman. And they might look slightly different, but they would probably have very similar shit. There would probably be a hip to waist ratio that would be very similar. There would probably be a boob size that would be very similar. There would probably be facial features, whether she was black, white, brown, whatever, that would be very similar in terms of proportion. There would be a type of hair that would be very similar. There'd be a type of outfit that I think a lot of us would find very appealing. Do you know what I mean? It would be very similar. Everybody has their tastes. Everybody has different attraction levels. Everybody's attracted to different people. But there's always a group of people who are undeniably attractive to everybody because they fit the type. You know when women always used to say, I want a guy who's tall, dark, and handsome? Like, there's certain things that just work. Like with a woman, like I said, thin limbs, narrow waist, wide hips, boobs at like a C or a D. It's just impossible to say no. It'd just be impossible. The great thing as a man is you can control yours more. For a woman, a lot of that shit is genetic. A lot of them, like the way their bodies are, where they store fat, etc. A lot of it's genetic. For a man, you can pretty much, you're like Play-Doh. You can manipulate exactly who you want to be. I've done it. Hamza's done it. I've seen both the Tate brothers do it. There's so many guys out here that have molded from being like a nerd, being just some weird guy, and they've just created the perfect man that they want to be. They're just molding it. We're all still working on ourselves, but Tristan Tate recently uploaded a bunch of photos. Recently uploaded a video about the straight 7 system. I got a bone to pick with him. Either we've had the same idea, or he's copied me without crediting me. You guys should watch it because it's identical. He's even said like straight 7s across the board. Use 2 of my examples. It's all good. I don't worry. But he uploaded a bunch of pictures to his Instagram, and he was by like sophisticated. I think it was one of his. It was like one of his normal cars. It was like a normal color. He's got like the groomed beard and the hair and the normal clothes, like the nice suit, the blue suit with the white shirt underneath, I think, and the nice shoes. He's not trying to be too drippy or trying to stunt on everybody. He knows what works. That guy knows his shit. I've heard him talk. He's got the same thing. I remember Gary Vee said he spoke to Mark Zuckerberg, and Mark Zuckerberg was like, oh, you've got it. You get it. In a business sense. Because none of those guys are studs. But like in terms of like attracting women and being a certain type of man, Tristan Tate has got exactly what I've got up here. He's had so many women and so many high quality women. He's been on so many dates and whatnot. He just gets it. It's just that I can see it in his demeanor. I can see it in the things that he says. When he was talking to Sneeko and he talked about the violinist, and he was like, if I could play a violin or what? So he said, if I could play the violin, Sneeko was like, That wouldn't work. And I was straight away, I was like, Sneeko, it fucking would. It would. Knowing what I know and the places I've been, I'm like, fuck, if I could play a violin, the amount of women that would be attracted to me. Or you could play some top level instrument that wasn't, you know, one of those classy instruments, so to speak. I'm not saying that wasn't, I was going to say that wasn't like a guitar at the beach, like on a campsite. I'm like a violin, a cello, or something crazy, something that nobody else can play. Do you know what I mean? If you just broke out a trumpet and blast out a note, it's wildly fucking attractive to a certain type of woman. You know, you telling me that like a 30-year-old classy woman from a very good home that went to a private school who is just absolutely beautiful isn't going to be like, damn, that really impressed me. It's like that type of woman would be blown away if you could speak 3 different languages. You know, in the same day you spoke 3 different languages and she didn't know you could do that. She's probably going to sleep with you that night. Tristan Tate gets all that. He's had similar experiences to myself. I would... Now, people can be like, he's on a higher level than you because he's got the money and whatever. Look, I get all that. But he's one of the only guys that I would look at and be like, that's a threat. He's got the same thing I've fucking got. Where it's like, it doesn't matter what woman you sit down with. You can find a way. You can find a way. You know she's going to like you regardless of whatever her type is. She's going to be like, this guy's an option. I can't deny it. He's got the same thing. Way more so than Andrew. Like, he would be the dangerous one out of the 2. And Andrew's got all the flashy toys and like the big Bugatti and whatever. Tristan Tate is the danger man. That sums up this video very fucking well. Okay? Sums up this video very, very well. It's a difficult one to wrap your head around, guys. I mean, you just got to think... I've covered everything, to be honest. I don't want to bore you guys, okay? I'm going to end the video there. I need to follow on from this. I need to do the fashion thing. I need to do more. I need to do, now that I've got videographers and stuff, I need to do more active life setup things. I need to show you in video, in person, certain lifestyle things, where to go and eat. You can be the classiest guy in the world, dressed the best ever, but you're sat in McDonald's. It doesn't work. Image doesn't work. Go to a classy restaurant. You know, find out where all the beautiful women go because it's the most high-end venue in the area. Go there. Why are you not going there? That's the type of guys that they like. The guys that go to that venue. Do you see where I'm coming from? They don't want the guys that are like, we're going out tonight, we're getting drunk, we're getting pissed. Like, most of them are home by 12 because they're going to certain venues that close at 12. This is it's what you need to wrap your head around, guys. Okay, this is the other side of male life when it comes to women, dating, attraction, etc. It's not what you saw in high school. It's not supreme head to toe. It's not following trends and, you know, being the flashiest motherfucker in the room and, oh, he's just got the new latest trainers. They're like £400. I have to date him. He's unbelievable. Like, that shit doesn't happen when you get to a certain age. Okay, when you get to a certain level in life, there's a certain class of woman that would just be like, no, that doesn't interest me. Okay, and you'll see it in every guy. Every guy goes down a certain route eventually where they figure this out. Like the high level ones, they go, oh, I know what I need to do. You know, like Ghost is a great example. I know it's fictional, but from Power. Great looking guy, in shape. He's like, in The Thing, he's a drug dealer. He's a dangerous man. He beats people up. But look at the way he dresses. Look at the way he conducts himself. Look at all of his car. Like, it wouldn't work if he was pulling up. He's a drug dealer pulling up in like a bright green Lamborghini. Like, it just wouldn't work. Police would be like, there he is. And it doesn't fit his image. Like, that's why he's always pulling up in like a black car, a grey car. You know, something like that. Something... All those shows are always filmed in winter, like Peaky Blinders, because it fits the image. The long black trench coat that you see, like... it's not Tommy, is it? Yeah, sorry, I did say Ghost. That you see, like, Ghost... I was thinking Peaky Blinders, Tommy. That you see Ghost wearing... He's always got the gloves on and the scarf and whatever, like the sophisticated shoes and whatnot. There's a certain type of image. It suits his lifestyle. There's a certain type of house. Like I said, a woman comes into your bedroom and you've got like childish shit in there. Childish shit. She's going to be turned off, isn't she? But if your bedroom looks like a John Lewis ad, she might just be like, damn, I'm going to bed with this guy. You know, it's just like a sophisticated room. The colors match. It works. It blends. It just fits the image and aura. Your toilet's clean. All these little things, guys, that people don't understand. Your car's clean, it smells good. You've not got like fucking Happy Meals on the floor that you ate, you know, some burger wrapper that you ate and threw on the floor and then drove off. Like, little things like that. They make the world of difference. I'm going to end the video there because I could go on forever. I'm waffling. Feels like a live stream. Catch you later, guys.